Welcome to Cross Transformation. It's Mariam here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the reasons why you are depressed, conditioned thinking. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what depression is, what toxic shame is, whether you have conditioned who you are to those earlier traumas, and finally we want to come back home to who we are, the unconditional love that is within us, our emotional journey back to love. That emotional journey is our breakthrough. Coming out of depression would mean coming back to love, to who we are. So let's begin by talking about what depression is. Fear and sadness combined will cause the experience of depression. Now we need momentum for that depression to take place, to happen. So the momentum of sadness and fear will cause the experience of depression, perceiving the reality through sadness and fear. That fear may have its roots in your childhood. Maybe that primary caregiver was abusive, maybe they punished you. Now you have got the momentum of fear in you, but this fear is on the basis of what happened to you in your childhood. That sadness, right? That sadness sitting there is us screaming for love, but we don't know how to find our breakthrough. We keep thinking that we are that broken attachment, or we are that neglect that we experience, but that's not true. Who we are is not that sadness, but somehow they made us believe that sadness is our identity and that we deserved that punishment or that abuse. So if you're experiencing your reality through depression, please understand the momentum of sadness, the root of that sadness, the momentum of fear, and the root of that fear, so you can find your breakthrough. Now let's talk about toxic shame. Shame, fear, and disgust combined to feel disgusted with myself because I've been perceiving myself as the source of contamination and wrongdoings in my life. Again, this may go back to that childhood. They neglected you, but they didn't acknowledge that it was, I don't want to say it was their fault, but they didn't know how to treat you better, and they didn't acknowledge it, so they projected it, and you end up feeling responsible for that. You thought that, well, obviously it's not their fault. I'm the one who is in charge, and I need to be ashamed of that. But that's not right. You see, most of those traumas kept repeating themselves. So it's very hard to find our breakthrough here and now because they happen to us in a repeated fashion. So here and now, it definitely does make sense for you to feel disgusted with yourself, not because it was your fault, but because they happened repeatedly. At the same time, that primary caregiver never acknowledged what they did to you. So that's why we are dealing with that toxic shame. And that toxic shame does have an influence on depression. So we really want to come out of disgust and fear again. That fear that they made it about you instead of feeling accountable for that neglect. They didn't feel accountable for it. they made it about you. So you need to be nicer to yourself and give yourself a break. The next thing, how do you define yourself? Do you define yourself on the basis of those earlier traumas? What happened to you? Because who you are is not those earlier traumas. Who you are is not the false self. Those defense mechanisms, those coping mechanisms, they don't define you. Conditioned thinking. Who you are is here and now, has got nothing to do with those earlier childhood traumas. So we can't put these two realities together, the past and the now, the present reality, hoping that somehow I'm going to find my breakthrough. I'm going to come out of this depression. No, you won't, because we can't focus on the past at the same time hoping that somehow we are going to come out of this present reality the way that we are perceiving it through depression. We need to let that past go away so we can focus on the current reality and who we are in God, because God himself is here and now. He is present with us. So who you are is not that trauma, can't be that trauma. Please, you are a child of God. You can't look at these two realities at the same time. It's not going to work out for you. You're going to focus on the present moment and allow who you are to reveal itself to you. And lastly, our return to love. That's our breakthrough. Joy and trust will result in the experience of love. So many of us are struggling with trust, the ability to trust life, the ability to trust God, the ability to trust others. As I've said before, the moment that we realize the momentum of fear, realization, we can come out of that fear and we can arrive at trust. Now, trust and joy, coming out of that sadness. What they made you believe about yourself, that you were a bad child, you weren't good enough, there was something wrong with you. Projection, projection, projection. We want to come out of that sadness, that momentum. Instead, we want to focus on who you are and the joy of being who you are. So we can arrive at love, our return to love, that emotional journey of realizing that you are loved and you're loved by God and God is within, and that return is an inward journey, the inward awareness of love, and you are the one that can bless yourself with that inward journey. The experience of depression, perceiving the reality through fear and sadness, the momentum of fear and sadness. Find your breakthrough. Come back to who you are. You weren't those mistakes. You are not those mistakes. And whatever they did to you, that abuse, that punishment, have compassion towards yourself, but instead of screaming for that love, uplift yourself to that love. Allow yourself to arrive at that love by creating trust and by finding joy in who you are. You can do it. You can do it. The joy of being who you are. The moment that you let go of that abuse, that punishment, how they treated you, you can arrive at joy. May you be blessed. Hopefully, you'll find this video helpful. You're a beautiful child of God, loved by God, and you are that love. I keep saying that. You are love. Trust yourself. You've got what it takes to walk into great realities. beautiful realities in Christ with God. May you be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.